All right, let's get right into it. It might sound a little weird, but our bodies are pretty incredible at sending us warning signs about big health problems. And believe it or not, one of the first places these warnings show up is in your feet. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on some hidden signs of diabetes that you really can't afford to ignore.
And I promise you, that is not me being dramatic. Think of your feet like the dashboard in your car. When that little check engine light comes on, you pay attention, right? It's about time we learn to do the exact same thing for our own bodies.
But here's the thing. The reality is that these signs are just subtle enough that most of us, well, we just brush them off as nothing until it's way later. So the big question for you is, are you actually listening to what your body might be trying to tell you right now?
Now, this is not going to be your generic, everyday health talk about eating more veggies. Nope. We're going straight to the physical evidence. We're looking at actual, tangible clues that can show up long before a doctor ever says the word diabetes.
And that is the absolute key here. We are not talking about just feeling a little off or tired. We're talking about specific physical changes that you can literally see and feel on your own 2 feet. So let's dive into exactly what you should be on the lookout for.
So, what are these signs we keep talking about? Well, we've broken it down into 9 very specific warnings. Let's uncover what each one is, and more importantly, what it could actually mean.
9. Remember that number? That's how many critical clues we're about to walk through. Every single one is a piece of a bigger puzzle, so let's go through them one by one.
So here they are, all 9 at a glance. Just take a quick look. You'll see they range from things you feel, like burning or tingling, to things you can actually see, like changes in your skin. The really fascinating thing is how they all can point back to one single issue. All right, let's start with number 1.
If your feet ever feel like they're burning, or you get that annoying pins and needles feeling out of nowhere, and it happens a lot, well, that is a major red flag. That's not just a random discomfort. It could be the very first sign that nerve damage is starting.
Okay, think about this. You get a little scrape, a blister from some new shoes. Normally, it heals up pretty fast, right? But what if it doesn't? What if that tiny little cut is still there, weeks later? That's your body basically shouting that its internal repair system is struggling, which is a classic side effect of high blood sugar.
Look, almost everybody gets dry feet now and then, but there's a huge difference here. We're not talking about the kind of dryness that a bit of lotion can fix. We are talking about skin that is so constantly dry and flaky that it actually forms deep, painful cracks. That points straight to a problem with circulation.
And this next one is something you can literally see with your own eyes. If you start to notice dark, kind of velvety patches of skin, especially around your ankles, you need to pay close attention. It's a textbook sign of something called insulin resistance, which is basically the step right before full-blown type 2 diabetes. All right, let's group these next 2 together because really, they're 2 sides of the same coin. And that coin is blood flow. Are your feet always swollen and puffy? Or maybe they're just constantly cold, like ice cold, even when you're under a blanket. Both of those things are screaming that there's a circulation problem.
Now this one is genuinely dangerous. A loss of feeling. I mean, if you step on something sharp or touch something way too hot and you barely even feel it, that is a sign of serious nerve damage. The huge risk here is that you could get a major injury and not even know it happened.
Do you feel like you're in a never-ending battle with athlete's foot or maybe a nail infection that just refuses to go away? Well, when your blood sugar is consistently high, it can weaken your immune system. That makes it way easier for these annoying fungal and bacterial infections to move in and set up shop.
And finally, number 9, pain that just doesn't make sense. I'm not talking about your feet being sore after a long hike. I mean a deep, aching, or sharp pain that just shows up for no reason at all. That's your body's internal alarm system, plain and simple.
So, there they are, the 9 signs. But just knowing what they are isn't quite enough. The really crucial part is understanding why it's so important to catch them. What's really at stake here?
And I really want you to listen closely to this next bit, because we've gone over the signs, but understanding why so many people miss them, well, that's the piece of information that could honestly make all the difference for you.
This is the absolute heart of the problem. Someone gets dry, cracked feet, and what do? They buy a better lotion. They feel some tingling, and they just think, oh, my foot fell asleep. We treat these things as small, isolated issues. We fail to connect the dots and see that they might be part of a much bigger picture.
And what happens when we don't connect the dots? People wait. They wait until the symptoms get so bad they just can't be ignored anymore.
But by then, the condition is much more advanced, and getting it under control is a way bigger challenge. Catching it early is everything.
But hey, this isn't about scaring you. Not at all. This is about empowering you. Knowing this stuff gives you power. So let's talk about the most important part of all. What can you actually do right now?
And this really is the good news. Your awareness is your single greatest asset. Just by knowing what to look for, you've already put yourself in the driver's seat. You're in a position to take control of your health long before a small issue becomes a big one.
So here it is, your action plan. It's simple, it's direct. Number 1, start paying attention. Actually look at your feet every day. Number 2, if you recognize even one of these signs we've talked about, don't just brush it off. And number 3, the most important step, talk to a medical professional. Get checked out. It is the only way to get real answers.
At the end of the day, it really all comes down to this. Your body is communicating with you every single